All right. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, Jen, I see you rolling your eyes. And welcome to another episode of How I Met Your Mortgage. Hard to believe we're in as deep as we are here with season 4, episode 12, but nonetheless, that's the scoop. Um, in any case, I'm your host, Adam Smith, with Just the Tips Coaching, and with me, pretty much as always, is our marketing director and one of our other coaches, Jen Weber. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning.
Yeah, I got Jen's audio. Sweet. And we have a unique and really cool guest for you guys. Somebody we've been wanting to have on the show for quite a while. We'll see if he's gotten his audio shit straightened out. Ryan Ehler. Ryan, are you there,
Hey, can you
Ryan?
hear me?
Hey, we
There
can
we
hear
go.
Ryan. Yay!
Yeah.
All right. So
I
Ryan,
was having a
who?
little technical difficulties this morning, but I'm here.
Yeah, barely, man, by the skin of your teeth. Seriously. But cool. We are pretty stoked to have you on the show because it'll be a really cool way for us to kind of divert from the normal content that we've been putting out there on, well, not necessarily on lead generation, because that's certainly what we want to talk about and what we focus on with the podcast and with our coaching clients and so on and so forth. But this will be a different take on it because we don't really have anybody on the show in 4 seasons of this that is as astute, or in your case, more astute in this video content as you are, as the Ehler lending team is. And we know that this is pretty much all you do because your wife bitches about it all the time. That this is all you do. She does all the real work. You do all the fun playing with video stuff. But Ryan, give us a little bit of background: who you are, where you're at, where you came from, how you got into lending. I know it hasn't been all that long, and you
Right.
and Jessica and I had a long talk about all this stuff in Vegas. This will blow your mind. 2019.
Yep.
That's how long it's been. So you've got a little bit more, experience. I don't want to call it that. Stress under your belt in the mortgage world in that time frame. But yeah, give us the inside scoop on Ryan.
Yeah. So, if you go way back, I was a college athlete, and when I was done with that, I was kind of lost. I didn't know what to do with myself, you know. So I went back, got a degree, an MBA, and found out real quick that means absolutely nothing. I love being physical, so I was doing personal training on the side, and I opened up my own personal training business. It was doing really well. I had a lot of ups and downs once I tried to do my own thing, open up my own shop, almost went bankrupt a couple times. And then when CrossFit and all those cheapy places came out, $10 gyms, the business was just getting tougher and tougher and tougher. And you had to offer less quality, more volume. And that's just what we weren't really into that. We wanted to offer a lot of quality, and there just wasn't demand for it. So one of our clients, a long-term client, he was a mortgage guy, and he said, hey, come work for me with your marketing skills. You have all these people coming to your gym. It's a building behind a building and no sign, all from social media. If you can do that and apply it to mortgage, you can put a zero on the end of your paycheck. And I was like, no way. He's like, I'm serious. So I was like, all right. So I'm one of those people, I just jump all in. So within a month, I was licensed and working for him.
Okay.
And yep. And
How long ago was that?
That was almost 4 years ago.
Okay.
So I went into this knowing from owning a job that this was not going to be owning a job. This was going to be building a business. I did not want to do loans. I wanted to do marketing, get the business in, and have other people do the loans. And I jumped from retail shop to retail shop, so 2 of them. And they just told me that video was dumb. I just need to sit on the phones and just grind out calls and just figure out how to do loans. And I said, no, I want to pay you guys to do the loans, and I'm going to go out and do my marketing. And didn't work. So finally I found a broker shop that would let me do my thing. And boy, I can tell you it's been a wild ride. So when I started, I had no money. The gym fell apart within 3 months. So the guy that I brought on, he was my head trainer, turned into a manager. He lost all the clients within 3 months. So my little safety net of some money coming in was gone, and it was actually costing me money every month. And I kind of did it different than everybody else. I went in 100% commission. I didn't have leads. I didn't have anything. I think he threw me 2 or 3 deals ever, just to kind of throw me a bone, knew that I was struggling. I was down to my last dollar, gosh, so many times in the first year. I'd have to call up father-in-law who didn't have any money either and just say, can you just float me 500 so I don't get a bunch of non-sufficient charges on my account? And then commission would come in, boom, pay him off. And then just being consistent with the video, it just started happening, you know. Deals started coming in, people started to know who we are. And the last 2 years, like once Jessica came on and we really made our brand, it's absolutely exploded. We went from barely being able to make it to just, you know, I think we've quadrupled, maybe 5x our business, you know, since she came on, and we could really just hammer in the video marketing and just start building our sphere and taking care of our clients. So it's been a wild ride.
I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that she's way better looking than you.
She does, but she hates being on video. So
I know. She doesn't want to do this stuff. But on the flip side, it gives her something to bitch about all the time, that it's all Ryan does. All he does is play with his video stuff. I'm the one doing the real work. I love it. So there are a lot of great stories like that, although this one is certainly up there. People, you know, on the verge of getting out, on the verge of bankruptcy, on the verge of bouncing checks, whatever the case may be, and with a little tweak. Maybe it was going from retail to wholesale, with a little tweak, adding a ton of video marketing into your mix, with a little tweak, building up a team, bringing on another team member. These things can propel you so much further than anybody ever imagines. It's just amazing that it isn't done more often. I'd be curious to know what happened to these retail shops that think video is dumb.
Well, I can tell you that they don't do. I can tell you that they, you know, in terms of where I'm at now, they don't do near the volume, and they probably work a lot harder. Like, that's my claim to fame, is I work smart, not hard. Jessica, our goal is to work less than 6 hours a day. We don't want to be a big behemoth. We don't want to do 300, 500, 1,000 loans. We have 3 kids, and we're building, like, we call it like our lifestyle business. So we have a certain amount that we want to get to, and we push hard to get to those goals, and we work hard in the beginning of our day. And then if we have spare time and we want to go hang out with the kids, we want to go on vacation, we want to go out and enjoy the sun or whatever, we do that. Now, it doesn't mean there's not times when things just get crazy and you have to grind out a 12-hour day, but that's just sparse. I mean, most people I talk to, they're doing 12, 18 hours a day every day. And you know what, maybe we'll do that once the kids are gone and, you know, we want to grow some massive team. But at this point in our lives, we set a goal, and we try to do hard, fast work so that it's done, and then we can kind of just enjoy our life.
I like the sound of that. Great philosophy. So let's talk about some of these things that have propelled you so far. Obviously, anybody who knows you, anybody who's seen you, which may very well be the entire Arizona homeowner market at this point, knows that your video content, your video quality is not to be touched for the most part in the small business wholesale mortgage broker space. It really can't be touched. It's impressive shit.
Thank you.
And I think one of the biggest struggles that people who are good at video have is content. You guys don't seem to have big struggles there. Obviously, when it comes to scripting and shooting and chroma key and assets and editing and lighting and on, there are 1,000 little details that we're constantly working on, we're constantly improving on. But give us the insight as to where it started. I mean, was this literally you with your cell phone out in front of you? I've seen you almost eat shit on your bike a couple of times, so I know that there were some of those videos. But yeah, give us that skinny on how it started, what you think some of the major developmental changes in your video marketing and your video lead gen were, and yeah, give us how you bridged this gap from where you started to where it is now, because it's uber impressive now.
Yeah, thank you. No, so it all started at the gym, and so I did like one video. I went back and looked at my YouTube channel, and it was like the worst video ever. I was so uncomfortable on it, and I never did another one for like a year and a half. And then when I opened up a location 8 miles away with the gym, I lost all my clients and had to build up. And I fell upon some guys who were doing Facebook marketing, and video was hot then. So I'm like, I'm going to learn video. And I'm lucky that I'm a pretty fast learner, and video just, it kind of is a knack for me. I don't really enjoy editing, but I just happen to be good at it. even from the beginning, like my stuff wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad because all I had was time. I had no money, no clients. So I would just sit there and make videos, and it started to work. People started coming in. And then I really wanted to take it serious when we opened up our second location. So what I did is I committed to do a video every day for 3 months. And so I did kind of like a vlog style because that was cool back then, like in 2012 or 13, I can't remember. And so I would stay up until 1, 2, 3 in the morning because I wanted to be high quality. I wasn't just like slapping stuff together. I was doing all the edits and all the crazy stuff. I was learning new things. And so within 3 months, I probably got like, I don't know, most people's 5 or 10 years of experience because I worked on it 5 hours a day. And that's where I really started to hone my skills. And I saw the potential there. So as soon as I went over to mortgage, I knew that I was going to carry that over. But it really didn't start to take off until Jessica came on and really freed up my time. And then this last 6 months, I've really gotten consistent where I don't miss a week that I don't put some type of content out. And I think the secret to my success is that I promise myself that I'm going to get one piece of content out a week. If I get out more, awesome. But I'm going to get one piece out no matter what. And
of video content.
Of video content.
Strictly video content, okay?
Yes. And this is what I use probably 80% of the time now. These new iPhone 12s are absolutely amazing. I just throw it on a selfie stick, no mic, no nothing. And it's absolutely crazy. The stabilization is crazy. The look of it is awesome. The sound quality is great. If I want to, spruce it up, I'll grab the camera every once in a while. I'll throw some text and stuff. And we're going to be doing more of that to keep people's attention more, put a little bit more effort into it. But consistency is key. Do a 1-minute video, grab your cell phone, you work on it till it's done. And if it takes you all week and you do 20 minutes a day to put it out next week, then that's what you do.
Okay, and for our audience, know that what Ryan is referring to here in the classic scheme of getting shit done, thank you, Chad Prio, take imperfect action. Just start doing it. You'll learn how to do it as you go. You'll be able to fine tune it as you go. And Jen will comment, I'm sure, on what my original video blog looked like 10 years ago versus how it looks today, and it's a little different, to say the least.
Just a little.
It's
pretty funny.
Yeah, going back, it was actually pretty embarrassing, but we did it anyway. And Ryan, it's really gotten to the point now where our colleagues, industry organizations, publications, actually seek you out to help with video content. Well, not necessarily with content, but with video production, video lead generation.
Right.
So that's gone a long, long way. Here you are in the business 4 years. Is that what we decided? And because you had this relatively single-purpose focus in your lead gen of just doing good video work, constant, consistent video work, you have basically become one of the industry's leading minds on using video to generate leads.
Yeah, it's bananas.
It's kind of a big deal. Yeah, seriously. I'm not sure bananas is the right way to describe it. I'd say it's beyond bananas. It's really freaking cool. And I think that another big piece of that puzzle is that, well, what we refer to it as here is that we embrace the cheesiness. And you know you're flubbing. You know you're going to take a digger off your bike. You know that Jessica doesn't really want to do video. And you guys are just who you are. It's really authentic. It's really straightforward. It's really honest. And the only thing that changes in the video from somebody just firing up their phone and doing that is some of the high-tech shit, the lighting, the editing, so on and so forth. But literally, I'm not even sure it's all that necessary. I think if everybody out there that wanted to do good lead gen work with video as their main tool, the way that you guys are, just being that authentic, consistent, constant is really what you need to be doing in order to make it fly.
Yeah, I agree. Like all the high-tech stuff is just like fun because it's a hobby for me and I've been, just doing it. You just add to your stuff. But Jessica always tells me all the time, she's like, is that important? And a lot of time the answer is no, that's not important. And so that's why a lot of my stuff, like especially if I'm under the gun, I just pick this bad boy up and just make it happen. And a lot of almost every single video is going to have mistakes. It's not going to be perfect. Like, look at today. My main mic right here is not working for whatever reason. And it's probably just because my kid came in and tweaked with my board or something when I wasn't in here, and I don't have time to monkey with it. So what did I do? Throw in my AirPod, and we got audio. It's good enough for today. So something is better than nothing. That's always the keys. You got to put it out, whether you think it's perfect, you think it's good, you think it's bad. You just got to put it out there.
All right, I got to admit, I'm insulted by the AirPod. We fully expected this to be the tippy top of audio and video quality from you. And actually, the video quality does look really frickin' solid. No question about it. But yeah, I get it. We do. This is along those lines of just take imperfect action. Just get your shit done, no matter how that happens to look for you.
Exactly.
All right. So we've got this enormous audience of people that are certainly going to want to be doing video work if they're not already. And if you're not, you should. You can fit in one of those categories with those retailers that Ryan was working for that thought it was dumb. By the way, not dumb. This is really a big deal. Yes, I think starting today you're behind the curve, but it's a big fucking curve. I may have dropped the first How I Met Your Mortgage
I think you did
there.
it, finally.
Finally, we dropped an F-bomb. Yeah, this is definitely not for kids. We have to tell YouTube that every week. This is not for a under 18 audience. So knowing that a big chunk of our audience is dabbling in video, is doing some video, we've certainly had a number of coaching clients over the years that really get it and grab onto it. Kudos to Rob Tate and his Whiskey Wednesdays, those kinds of things. We do have a handful of coaching clients that have really kind of done what I would expect, what would be on the level of what Ryan and Jessica are doing. But Ryan, give our audience some tips, other than what we should all know about the mental aspect that whatever you're doing in your lead gen has got to be constant and consistent, et cetera. And maybe for some people that is banging the phones. Right. This is not for everybody. But yeah, outside of the mentality, what are some, entry-level tips you would give our audience for really getting started in, the video for lead gen space?
So let's start, like, everybody wants to talk about gear, but let's leave gear to the end because it doesn't really matter. It's all about your content. And so whenever Jessica and I are coming up with an idea for video, it's all about the consumer. Like, what can we do today that's going to offer them value? What information can we give them? How can we help them along in the process? What are the things that they're thinking about right now that's causing them stress, anxiety, fear, maybe just unknowing, just not knowing what to do. And so we look at all the questions that people ask us, all the scenarios that come up, and we just create content around that and try to make it fun and interesting. And a lot of my stuff is like 1 to 2 minutes. So people don't have attention spans these days, especially on social media. So you have to be direct to the point. YouTube's a different game. I'm horrible. I should probably be one of the top YouTubers by now if I would have just stuck with it. But my mind doesn't wrap around 5, 10, 20-minute videos. Like, I'm a very direct type A person, so I have to get out of my own head when it comes to that. That's a different story. But for social media, it's just quick to the point, no tangents. I see a lot of people's videos, and they go off on these crazy tangents that have nothing to do with the topic that they started with, and you lose people right away. Within 3 seconds, you have to capture their attention of what you're going to offer them. You got to deliver that as clear and concise as you can, and then have some sort of, I like a soft call to action at the end. Hey, if you have any questions about buying, selling, or refinancing, send us a message, put a comment below. We're always happy to help. I find that on social media these days, soft call to action seem to work better than like hard sales. Like, if you just go into every video, like, download my crap, apply at my website, whatever it is, it's too harsh. Like, people get turned off when you're constantly selling. And I think that's why our stuff takes off, is because we're just offering a ton of value, and people don't unfollow me or unfriend me and get annoyed because I don't do it every day. Twice a week max, unless there's just something crazy that happens in the market and I have to do an update. So I'm not bombarding them with just pure business crap all the time. And I
Good, because our business is boring. Mortgages are freaking boring. Yeah.
Boring.
All right, so hang on. Let's slow down a little bit because I do want to highlight a couple of these things because you're hitting on some really high notes for us. One, obviously know your audience. Okay. What do they want to see, hear, read, watch? Okay. This isn't about Ryan making videos that Ryan wants to watch or even Ryan making videos that Jessica wants to watch. This is about Ryan making videos that his audience wants to watch. Okay, so that's a big, big deal. The other piece of this, of course, is that, yeah, you got to have a call to action. I agree with Ryan 100%. I think it should be soft. Hey, by the way, if you know anybody that needs XYZ, let me know. But obviously, after the fact that we put our good, solid, helpful, for the greater good of the community content out there. It's never self-serving with these guys. And I know Jen posted your YouTube channel, so our audience can, or at least our Facebook audience can go look at that. What is that channel, before we forget, for the podcast audience?
Should be Ehler Lending Team.
Yeah, I just searched for Ryan Ehler on YouTube and it came right up.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, Ryan makes a couple of really big points there that you guys have got to focus on. What does your audience want to see, hear, read, watch? And you got to have a call to action. All right, go ahead, Ryan.
So now a lot of people these days are like buying leads. I don't buy leads. To me, that's not my game. I don't buy a bunch of cheap leads and grind the phone. What I do is create content. And the hardest part for me is when I do a passion project, I want to promote the crap out of that with my paid ads. And sometimes they're just a flop to cold audiences. And I'll let those run and spend too much money on them because it means something to me. So that's something that I'm diving into, and I hire a coach to come in every quarter, look at what I'm doing, and just kind of have an outside perspective and just be like, hey, I know you love this video, but it kind of sucks in terms of actually working. And so, you know what? Sometimes you need someone just to slap you upside the head and just be like, I know you love it, but other people don't. And so it's knowing your numbers. That's what's nice, too, about posting organically on your pages is the videos that tend to do well, then you know you should probably put some money behind that, whether it's $1 a day, $5 a day on social media, YouTube, whatever, and get that out to a wider audience. So when we have leads come in, they want to talk to me. I can't tell you, like, multiple times someone's calling me and I hear my video playing on their computer when they're on the phone. It's kind of crazy. You know, you have a lead call you, dude, I'm watching you on YouTube right now. I had a question for you. So that's kind of cool.
Very cool.
That's very cool.
And that's another big piece of the puzzle. I don't think people really grasp the value, and it was hard for me too, of what video means to an audience like that. And I don't know what the revelation was, but it's probably been close to 10 years. But I was at a realtor conference, and I don't know, I was either proctoring a class or teaching a class or something to that effect. And a lot of people were walking up to me and just having casual conversations with me like they knew me. And they did. They'd seen dozens, maybe hundreds of videos. My wardrobe, my office, my home office, my dog, the inside of my car, how I speak, my tone, my inflection, my sense of humor. And just because we'd never met, they actually did know who I was. So, I mean, in a very minuscule paparazzi-esque kind of way, I had this revelation that, oh my God, you know, after tens or hundreds of thousands of people watching these videos, there actually is an impression being made and people will come and talk to me like they know me, even though we've never met. So that impact is huge, and I think the best way to describe it from your perspective is, a client calls while watching your video, you can hear it in the background, and it borders on stalker, it borders on paparazzi, but nonetheless, that's how it plays.
And here's something interesting. You and I, our delivery is very different, but we are ourselves on camera, and that shows. Like, we don't try to put on some front or some show. We might be a little bit more excited. Like if you're having a slow day, you're a little tired, you bring the energy on camera all the time, but it's you. It's your personality. So when people meet you and you're the same, they're like, oh, you're the guy. You are the guy. Like there's no bullshit.
Right.
And I think people really, they know that. They can sense that. If you're faking it and trying to be somebody else, your videos are going to flop. If you're funny, be funny. If you're kind of dry, really just dig into the dry humor. Like whatever it is that makes you have to get comfortable of just expressing yourself as who you are. Like you're talking to like a friend, that when you're looking at that lens, that's like your buddy or, whoever.
Agreed. Yeah, that authenticity is so important. No question. All right, keep going, Ryan. I know you wanted to touch on some of the hardware and software type of shit.
Yep. So hardware, I have been Android my whole life. So I'm not some like iPhone fanboy. But I just saw all the crazy stuff with the with the phone. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna take the leap. There's some things I don't like about it, but I'm telling you, this is the easiest thing to use in terms of production because it just looks great. The stabilization is great. You can edit. I mean, I can't tell you how many videos I've shot on the phone, edited on the phone, and then just posted right from here.
Is Apple paying you for this shit?
They should be.
They should
I've
be.
sold a ton of them.
What apps are you using, Ryan, to edit?
Good call.
Focus Live, FOCOS Live. So that's the app I like for the iPhone. It's very easy to cut. Another thing too, when a lot of people want to have these elaborate like intros and outros, here's the thing: if it's more than 4 seconds, it's too long. And you should always tell them what you're going to give them before you roll the intro. It should just be boom, 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 just so they see you, the brand, and they can recognize, that you're doing a certain segment, certain show, whatever. But if it's more than 4 seconds, you either need to put that thing on 4X and speed it up or do another one. Your ending can be a little bit longer. For compliance reasons, you got to have all of your ending card and stuff like that if you want to be compliant. So we usually just splash our logo and then a compliance card at the end so we don't have any issues, especially since we're probably going to get cracked down more with compliance now. So just be compliant in everything that you do. And I think another topic is I wouldn't ever say a specific rate on your video or your content so that you don't have any issues with that. I usually just allude to like, hey, in the 2s and the 3s, we dropped this person's rate by X amount. And that seemed to help not have to have all kinds of extra work in figuring out APRs and all that stuff, because we know it varies so much depending on someone's circumstances and their scenario.
And I'm guessing you're not talking about that kind of content much anyway, because again, not interesting.
No, it's not interesting. Every once in a while, probably once a month, I'll dig into the numbers, but those ones usually don't do that well. But you know what? There's some engineer type people out there that do want the numbers, so I do provide it. But for the most part, storytelling is the best thing that you can do. Is take a client scenario, tell a story. How did it change their life? What struggles did they have? How did you solve them? And people love that because it's almost like they're living it and experiencing it firsthand.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, very cool.
So this, and I love Mac too for editing on the computer. It's just Final Cut Pro is the easiest piece of software that you could possibly ever use. And with all the plugins you can buy for it, it's extremely powerful. And now with the new MacBooks, you can get one for like $1,000. I think it's like right around 1,000, or a Mac Mini for 1,000. And it's going to be more efficient and faster to edit on than a $2,000 or $2,500 PC, just because Mac's optimized. Like Mac works with Mac. So if you're shooting on an iPhone, you edit on Final Cut Pro, you can literally breeze through it in seconds compared to having to figure out some complicated Adobe Premiere or things like that. If you don't want to spend any money, then use DaVinci Resolve. It's a free software. It's fairly simple, just not quite as intuitive.
All right, Jen, I spent more than that on your laptop. Want to put that out there.
I'm a Mac, 100% Mac, Ryan.
And I'm going to roll my eyes, the two of you.
The new M1s are cheaper than the old Intel ones, so I think they are. I don't know. But they're not expensive in the grand scheme of things compared to having like a power PC or something like that costs $3,000 or $4,000. So, spend $3,000 or $4,000 on a phone and a MacBook Air or 13-inch MacBook Pro, and you really have everything that you need to get going. Or you just do it all on the phone and don't do anything on the computer.
Yeah, and that's an option too. All right, well, very cool. Ryan, how can people see more of your content? What's a good way to reach out to you?
I mean, the easiest thing is you can just find me on Facebook. I post everything on my personal page and the Ehler Lending Team page. YouTube should be expanding. We're working. I got to get out of my own head and just start doing it. You have to do things based off of how the medium wants you to do it. You can't force your ideas onto a medium. So Facebook is fast and short, 1 to 2 minutes. Instagram is under 30 seconds. TikTok, I think 30 to 60 seconds. And then YouTube, they want 8 to 10 minutes for you to show up on the algorithm. So you just got to know your medium and make your content for that.
Wow, 8 to 10 minutes. That's a new piece for us. That is a lot of content to put out, no question. Thank God for 30-minute video casts.
Yeah, they want at least 8 minutes if you really want to, get into the algorithm. And it seems like 10 to 12 minutes is a sweet spot. There are differences, based off of certain audiences that you have. I don't think I have my book here, but there's a book called The YouTube Formula that I'm reading. So I'm digging deep into the algorithm and going to start hitting that hard on YouTube.
Cool. You'll have to keep us posted on that. Yeah. And I'll bet you gave Jen a shit ton of content for our video workshop at the Mile High Mastermind this fall. So, yeah, right on. Thanks for the help. Yeah, and yes, Jen, I know we're running over, but we knew that was going to happen with Ryan, and let's get Ryan booked for a sequel as soon as the calendar allows for both of you guys. And Jen, why don't you take us through the call to action?
You can text TIPS to 63566 to find out everything about Just the Tips coaching. You can get a copy of Adam's book, Just the Tips, which again, I actually have sitting on my desk. Adam will be proud. You can find all of our latest videos, all of the episodes of How I Met Your Mortgage, all of our weekly little tips, our podcast, which is on Apple and Spotify. And you can book a free hour of coaching with us, and you can get information on the Mile High Mastermind, which is coming together.
Yeah, we pulled all the content and schedule together last week. I'm real pleased with where my team is taking this event for this year. All right, well, Ryan, thank you. I know that this has been a long time coming, and I do appreciate the time. I know taking it out of your schedule right now is a big deal.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. If people have questions about video and stuff like that, they can always reach out.
Perfect. I bet a lot of people will take advantage of that invitation. And all of Ryan's contact info will be on the Facebook video, and we'll find some other sources to drop that as well.
Ryan, if you haven't seen my video, Show Me the Low Rates, you should go check that out. That was hilarious. I thought it was.
I did see that video. We're talking about the Jerry Maguire splice.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my cease and desist letter, but I'm going to keep it rolling until I get it.
Ryan, I've been doing this, the video blog, not the podcast. I've been doing the video blog for over a decade. I've only gotten one C&D.
Okay.
So you might be in the clear, and it came from Pink Floyd, if that matters.
Okay. I thought I changed it enough to be a parody, but we'll see. It was fun to make.
I'll bet. It was fun to watch. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. The rest of you, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next Monday at 10:30 Mountain Time with another episode of How I Met Your Mortgage, and we will see you then.